Welcome, one and all, to the MJ in the House Party with Marty show, where we be rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling, slamming and jamming, moving and grooving, taking care of business and having good times from Austin to Boston and Maine to Spain and all points in between. Getting on that ass like white on rice, like spots on dice, like cold on ice. And right now, I would like to welcome my co-host, hypothetically the best co-host in the world, Savage.
Why, thank you, Marty. Thank you. How you doing, buddy?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that part out. How's the mic going? Mic check, mic check.
Mic check. Yeah, mic sounds clear. You look good. Room looks good. And I think we're all ready.
Look how close.
It's okay.
That is to.
It's good. People can hear you.
No,
People
it's like
want to
somebody
hear
sticking something in my mouth.
I don't know about that, but I know the people want to hear you loud and clear. They made it loud and clear that they want to hear your voice.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, last time was a different situation. I tried to explain it on my Facebook that, circumstantially, due to circumstances, we had to make do because it was kind of a makeshift. We had to make the studio. You did most of this work. Only thing that's really messed up, besides just being right in my mouth, this is right almost in my mouth. And when I look up, you put Shawn Michaels' Playgirl picture right there in the front, right there. I mean, if that towel falls off, I'm in trouble. I got to leave.
It's funny that you mentioned that because we had a question. He said, "Hey, Marty, big fan, and I mean this with
I know you ain't
but
smoking
peace
again.
and love, brother."
Is that smoke?
Zero. Not at all. Zero mile intent here. My question is, why do you have your former tag team partner, Shawn Michaels' Playgirl, displayed on your wall? That's a fan.
I don't. And I told Mizzy, Savvy, you don't even want that, do you? Savage or Savvy? Savvy,
you call me, you're Marty Jannetty. You call me whatever you want. I love it.
I ain't going to call you dickhead. But,
okay. Well, thanks.
Okay, but why'd you put Shawn's picture? Right. I mean, look, I could reach out and touch
it. I mean, if you can't tell that was strategically placed.
I already know that.
I mean, it was strategic.
The whole damn room of shit, but right here where I got to sit for an hour, every time I look up, there's Shawn's damn.
The real question is, why was that sitting? The real question is, why was that sitting in your house for probably the last 25 years?
Longer than that, I think. Because that's my brother, man, and he made it to the cover of a magazine. I can't help it. It was an LGBTQ magazine. But
Playgirl, Playgirl. Okay, I don't think I've ever owned an issue of Playgirl, but Marty Jannetty does, and it's the one with Shawn Michaels. And so what? Like he said, that's his boy.
So what? We get drunk. So what? We smoke weed. Okay, that's enough of that.
It's okay. So I heard you want to talk about the barbershop like you never have before.
Well, we're going to go in some depth, tell some things that I haven't told. And not that it was a big secret. It's just like, when you get asked questions, you answer it. Yeah. Sometimes you just tell them what they want to hear so you can get away quicker.
Yeah.
But which that's a New York thing, right?
We did get a lot of questions about the barbershop big time over here. And, they want to know something, man. They want to know.
Well, and I'm going to, I got my notes right here, y'all, just in case I forget something, which, man.
could happen.
These days, I forget a lot. You know what we got to do, bro?
What we got to do?
We ain't got to, but we should. I need more light. This is a dim-ass damn bulb. It's sort of like my brain. Dim.
I'm coming back up in October, so we're going to be doing some upgrades to the studio.
That's a long time. They got to see some sorry-ass production shows.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I think the lighting's pretty good. When
we put a flashlight for now. Just hold a flashlight.
Look right here,
right behind this.
I think the lighting is phenomenal in that room. It's actually the best lighting in your house. So I mean, let's just be honest about that right off the jump. It's probably the best lighting in your house.
When I open the curtains, it gets bright. When I close them,
gets brighter.
The lights on. I mean, lights are on, but if I open the curtains, it's like, yes, thank God.
Listen, Savage will send down one of his assistants, and actually, we'll get you an LED light to put right in your face since it's not bright enough.
I got one of those, a little circle. Oh, thank you for telling me that.
You have one?
Yes, I ain't gonna do it now, but it clips on right here, and it's got this circle of light.
See, you're right. Hypothetically, I am the best.
And my girl Kara from New York up there, the Bronx, she sent me that. I think that was her. I hope I got that right. One of the girls was an asshole. I sent you that.
Okay, it's okay.
we're gonna make that mistake again.
It could happen any day, anytime, man. But the barbershop was a, epic segment, one of the most memorable segments. As a child, I remember it vividly. So
Vividly?
Mike, yeah,
Can
vividly.
you spell that word?
Probably Vividly. Why? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You might be right.
Mike Watford over here. He wants to know, did it go as planned?
Okay, yeah. So let me do the whole backstory to it.
Please do.
All right. So now we're gonna get serious for a minute, y'all. I mean, you can click off if you don't want to be. A lot of people say that that fight, that was the reason that we did. We split up. There was one fight, and what I don't want to do is go back into the dark side and start yapping about Karen, that goofy girl. And a lot of people got mad at me for saying what I said, which, I mean, she's sitting there dogging me out. I'm not supposed to respond to it, So, she said 99% of what comes out of Marty's mouth isn't true. Well, she still beat me. 100% of what comes out of her mouth isn't true. She was talking about how she was sitting there for the fight, and Sean pushed me out the window, and I crawled back in the window and then beat him. Bitch lives in St. Louis. The fight was in Denver. She wasn't even there, the delusional girl. And so she's saying that crap, which that wasn't, she had heard the story. So she, she's mentally off now. I didn't know she was that bad. She was always a little lost lamb, but now that she's gotten older and got into, I don't know, she got into drugs. I mean, usually when your teeth are black and jagged at the bottom, that's what it means. And she's delusional. I mean, that's the best I can say. I mean, I still love her to death as a human being, as a person that I used to interact with when I was in St. Louis or anywhere within 100 miles of St. Louis. She would drive up. But she talked about a pill bottle on the floor. Marty was passed out, and Jimmy Snuka and Sean. None of that. That's none of that. Nothing. First of all, the boys know Jimmy wouldn't hang out with Sean. Jimmy didn't like Sean. He did in AWA days, but then he saw what Sean was about as far as for him, and he didn't like it. So he would hang out with me because we were close. But he didn't like Sean. So the boys were like, no, that ain't true. I mean, nothing she said in there was true. I mean, even the police motorcycle wreck. She said, and then he was in trouble with the law. No, I wasn't. It was a police motorcycle. I asked him to ride with him, and he gave me the whole motorcycle. So I was like, okay, shit, I'm on my own. And I rode it around and, decided to ride in the lobby of the hotel. Crashed right into the fountain. It was funny, Bam Bam Bigelow, God rest his soul, he's a biker. He was a biker. And he's looking at me, he's going, no, and he's pointing at the floor. And I'm thinking he's saying, no, don't come in here with a motorcycle in the lobby of the hotel in India, somewhere in India, Bangalore. I don't even know if that's India.
Might as well. Marty.
And then if you show it again, wait, let me say this. When I turned to go around, they had just waxed the floor, cleaned the floors. They were slick. That's why Bam Bam was saying, no, because he knew. And if I show it again, you see I try to turn and it just skids straight. Yeah. It was just like, do you really?
Yeah, in this tape, the original footage from India, it's coming.
How do you
soon,
got
guys.
that? I thought I had it.
You gave it to me to digitalize, and I'm going to bring it back to you.
Yeah, one of my producer friend from Darkside was going to how do you say that? I think I just
made up a word. No, that's not the right word. It's digitized. And I said digitalize. Maybe.
Yeah, and you messed me up because I was.
Oh, we all messed up right now, man. But that's what happens when you're partying with Marty. I mean, things are going to happen.
So here's what happened. Here's how the whole thing went down. And I know we got fan questions. And by the way, thank all of y'all that bought the T-shirts. It was a handful, last minute deal, because I just threw it up last night. Thank y'all. We're gonna get your questions in. But we're going to try if I can stay on point here.
You got a question from Jay. He wants to know if Sean laid that super kick in.
I'll go ahead and answer that now, because when I get there to talking about it, I'm not going. Hell yes.
Sounds about right.
And we got in a fight in Denver. It was a mistake. It should have never have happened. And evidently, Sean can't fight well. But I mean, I'll give him this. He didn't give up, and that made it worse. I mean, that made it worse
because you pissed him off.
It was just like, stop, man, stop! I don't want to do this again.
I don't want to kick your ass.
No, I don't want to say it like that, because that's my boy, man.
Let's watch the super kick. Actually, I think I have.
Okay.
The other isn't any good. Oh, my God! To be ready for the Royal Rumble, bleeding profuse.
Good God.
And people ask how bad did it hurt getting thrown through the window. It didn't. He kicked me so hard, I didn't feel the window. I mean, he got me. He got me under. I actually raised up to my toes.
I think it's fair to say that was probably like the best super kick we've ever seen on television.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah. Now, the thing about it,
he took it like a champ. That's why
I had no choice. The thing about it, though, is I would see him super kick guys in the ring, and I would see the look on their face, and by the expression, like, fuck, he laid it in. Yeah, but he wasn't trying to. He wasn't doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
he just wanted it. When you want it to look good, but you got to remember there's a person on the end of that foot, and you're gonna see, if it's a regular and not the guys that come in to make us look good. If it's a regular, you're gonna see them again tomorrow night.
May I ask you a question? I want to know what was going through your head right here at this very moment before the kick is coming. What's going through your mind?
Probably how his breath. He was so close to me. The look on my face. I'm trying to remember, but he was being a little smug and smart, like he is, I'm thinking, do I even want to hear this? At no point did I want to super kick him or punch him. I just wanted to get this straightened out. And you could feel, man. You can feel vibes, and I felt vibes off of him, like. Nothing he's saying right now is truthful, and that was my brother for 7 years. He's still my brother now. We had that little fallout. But he, it was a point where, let me do this. I'm going to rant and rave. Well, I ain't going to rant, but I'm not going to rave. Isn't rave when you go to the clubs and do some ecstasy? They got the lights going and that rave music.
Yeah,
I did that for an old man. I did that, and it was pretty cool. Especially at the end of the night. I ain't going to tell you what happened. You can guess. But yeah, here's the whole deal, y'all.
Please,
because a lot of people think the fight was what led into the barbershop window and us splitting up and all that. It wasn't that. Here's what it was. All right, the fight happened because Sean was starting to get a little arrogant and a little cocky. He was always that way with the fans, and he started getting that way with me. After we started climbing the ladder, pretty much to as high as you're going to go as a tag team, and we were right there. You're not going to break through, and be top over in singles. Like Hogan was around. We're not going to be a tag team. Ain't going to be better than Hogan or Macho Man or Jake the Snake or Ultimate Warrior. You're going to be underneath all that, but you might be on top of the rest. We were right about at that spot. Excuse me. Is the mic working? Y'all heard that?
Yeah.
I still feel weird about this big black thing right in my face.
It's okay. You'll get used to it. I'm sure I'm sure it's not the first. It won't be the last.
No, what is the first? And it's not the first. I don't even like that. But
you guys are like already champions in this video here. I'm assuming you're like this.
That's I think that's either in Tennessee. Yeah, that was down in Tennessee for the Jarretts. So by the way, already... Jerry Jarrett died.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I feel bad for Jeff, man. I love Jeff to death. Me and him are boys.
Good
And
family.
we got some stories.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I mean, some good ones.
I believe it, man. Jeff,
Very.
very entertaining guy, Jeff Jarrett.
Yes. Where do you think he learned that?
They all learned it from you.
Nah. Okay, so back on point. Where was point? You were supposed to throw Rhode Island in there.
Well, we're talking about the barbershop window, and you were talking about Shawn Michaels laying it in, and you were getting into details about like what really happened and why it really came to be.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the fight only happened because Shawn had started getting. He was always arrogant with the fans. A little cocky, arrogant. Is there a difference?
Well, look at that face. I mean, yeah, he looks like an arrogant guy there. I mean, that's what he's going for.
Is there a difference in arrogant and cocky, or are they one and the same?
No, I think they can be the same. Maybe arrogant is a little worse.
Okay.
Cocky, maybe you're just a little confident.
Which one are you?
A narcissist.
Oh gosh, you went a whole different level. Let's go whip your ass, man. But so anyway, that whole night happened because he had a problem the night before with his boy. I don't want to say too much, but someone he was in love with. Okay. That's too much already.
Well, yeah. By the way, every time you say I shouldn't say too much, you pretty much just start saying it anyway. So I mean, at this point,
I'm glad you put my brothers right there, Road Warrior, Hawk, and Animal. It's
man.
Fucked up. Excuse my language, y'all. I'll take that back.
You're good.
But they're both gone, man.
Yeah, they are, man. Unfortunately, that was my favorite tag team of all time, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I know the Rockers were awesome, but for me, Legion of Doom as a kid, I looked at those guys as guys that could beat up Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and Andre the Giant. You know,
one of the best compliments I ever got. You know who Tim Tebow is, right?
Of course.
The all-star, the Heisman Trophy winner of college football.
He's a legend.
Yes. He said that I was his favorite, other than the Road Warriors.
Other than the Road That's a hell of a compliment.
But he didn't say the Rockers. He goes, you were my favorite.
But you guys put on better matches than them.
I don't know about that. I mean, because it was a different style.
That's how I look at it. Because no, it is a different style. But you guys were like, you could go in there with any tag team and put on a clinic, technical, savvy, flashy. Legion of Doom, we know we were going to get. Legion of Doom was just going to kick your ass.
And that's what you want. That's what you go to.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I love them, man. I mean, I have them right here.
I'm looking at them, man. I feel like I just got high, and here they came out of the grave.
They're up there, man. Why don't you get back down here? Look at this guy. Look at that blonde hair right here.
So here we go. The fight shouldn't have happened, but it happened. I mean, it was his arrogance and cockiness. And I actually told him, don't start treating me like you do the fans. I actually told him that. And
wow.
There he went ahead in front of Roddy Piper and did anyway. And I'm not going to get into all that. We're going to stay on point with the barbershop window. And he said some wrong things. And actually put his hands on me first. He actually pushed me. And that was it.
Oh, but so, nice.
Yeah. Well, it didn't warrant all that shit to happen afterwards.
And this is before the fight, right? He had shoved you. You had tried talking to him. You told him, don't come at me with this fan bullshit. Like, I'm not a fan.
Don't treat me like you do the fans. And because he wasn't very good to him back then.
And this is like what, year 7 of the Rockers? Midnight Rockers into the Rockers?
About that, yeah.
Okay.
6, maybe 6.5. Because after the fight, we went for another few months. Here's what led to the barbershop window. He tore his leg up, got a motorcycle. The boys always go through shit. They buy Halliburtons. One guy gets a Halliburton, another guy gets a Halliburton. All of them got to get Halliburtons. You know what that is, right? The little metal suitcase thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. Cowboy boots. A couple of the guys get cowboy boots. All of them get cowboy boots.
Yep.
A couple of the guys get this, all of them get this, get that.
Somebody gets a new Rolex. We all got to get a Rolex.
Yeah, not as expensive as Ric Flair's, though.
No, of course not.
But so they went through a motorcycle phase, and here we go. Everybody's buying motorcycles.
I'm so fucking cool.
They don't even know how to drive the motherfucker. They don't know how to change gears. Sorry about the language, y'all.
Party. I mean, you're sitting here. I mean, I'm not even going to say anything. The video speaks volumes.
Yeah.
All right, so he got hurt.
But I didn't buy that motorcycle.
That's true. That's
I
right.
asked the policeman, "Hey, can I ride with you?" And he got off and just gave me the thing.
At least you
it's
asked.
on that India tape.
So Shawn Michaels gets into a huge accident.
Yeah, on his motorcycle. I told him, "Don't get a motorcycle, bro. No, you don't. When did you ride one? You just, I'll learn." No, man, they're dangerous. You know, Lex Luger bought his and then rode it off the lot and wrecked it right outside the lot.
That's great.
And it lost so much value. I mean, it's in front of the lot, but it's out in the road. So it's just dropped value. Like, you know, as soon as he drove it off the lot, it dropped $10,000 of value.
Jesus Christ. Who would you say was the biggest biker in the history that you've rolled with? Like somebody that was like hardcore biker?
Probably Bam Bam.
Bam Bam. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh wow, that's a big boy coming at you on a bike. Good God.
Yeah, but a good brother. He ain't gonna come at you unless you come at him.
Absolutely, I wouldn't want to be coming at him. So Shawn got hurt, and that's
Yeah, it started slightly raining, which is when the road gets real slick. And I guess he was coming to a railroad track, and he had to stop. From what he told me, I mean, I wasn't there. But so he put his leg down, you know, the motorcycle started skidding a little bit. So he put his leg down and it turned his leg and tore the ligaments, you know, in his knee, the tendons and crucia ligament, whatever the words are.
So he was going to be out of it for a minute.
Yeah, he was out of it for a minute. And that's where everything went south. Shane Douglas, who I love to death, but gets some stories wrong these days. We'll talk about that another time. No, I ain't talking bad of him. I love him to death. Loves. Let me put that S on it because love's a dangerous word. Yeah, he filled in for Shawn while Shawn was hurt, and it was kind of like, you know, we were like, I mean, how are we gonna put on good shows? I mean, you got a rocker and a straight. He was one of the dynamic dudes, though. I think with who was it with Steve Austin?
Okay, yeah. Great work.
The dynamic duo or no.
I don't think it was Steve Austin.
John Laurinaitis.
John Laurinaitis, yeah. Johnny Ace.
Yeah, Johnny Ace, yeah. And love him too, man. Loves him too. Loves them all, man, except for Paul.
He's doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Who did he marry?
He's doing okay. Yeah, you know who he married. Smart man.
Yeah. You
might want to do the same thing. Find one and put that ring on it, man.
Okay, Beyonce.
Let's go. Oh man, imagine the headlines. Marty Jannetty steals Beyonce from Jay-Z.
Yeah, because she wanted me to put a ring on it. Okay, man, we way off subject.
Yeah, way off. Okay. All right, we're crashing over here. Shawn Michaels, though.
Okay, so he tore his knee up, you know, with the motorcycle. I told him, don't. Let's our career. You know, you want to talk about me being a career crasher.
He didn't listen.
No, he didn't listen. He tore his knee out. So he was out for 6 weeks. He ended up being about 6, maybe 8 weeks. But, you know,
could have been worse.
Yeah. Oh, way worse. 6 weeks. I had to do SummerSlam by myself. SummerSlam, I don't know what number, but it was against Paul Roma and Hercules. Well, that's where he came out limping, and they acted like they fucked, excuse my language, they messed him up with the chain.
That must have been WrestleMania 7.
What's that?
SummerSlam. I think it was the year of WrestleMania 7, maybe.
No, it was before that.
Before that?
Yeah, but it don't matter. That part don't matter. Yeah. Yeah, so you know, they did the chain thing, like that's what made him not be able to wrestle. But the reason he couldn't wrestle was a motorcycle wreck. And so I had to do the match by myself. I thought I did pretty good. And, until Hercules gave me the club, man. Herc was sold for a monster, big, strong guy, and they were strong, both of them, him and Paul Roma. Oh, yeah. Wow, with that clothesline, he only like held it out and moved it a little bit. And that's how strong his was. Wow. It almost knocked me out, man. You can see in the one in the match, like you could tell which one because I went straight back, fell back like you just chopped a tree down. Like
a lot of those old guys did that. So when Shawn was in this picture right here at the barbershop, is this him a couple of weeks back, or is this
okay?
Like
hold on, now I gotta get my specs.
Yeah. I'll put the big screen on this. He's there. He's tearing the magazine on this day at the barbershop. Is like this him as soon as he came back, or was there a process? Or
Yeah, this
How
is way
was he when
later.
he come back?
This was way later. But here, let me do this. It was like this. He was out, so Shane Douglas, filled in, and at first we were all thinking like, their style, Shane's style, was way different than mine, and Sean, the rocker style. So we were like, oh boy, how's it going to look though? I mean, we're going to keep doing the tag matches, rather than me doing singles and shit. Excuse my language. And Emily, if it's okay with y'all out there in viewership land, if I do say a cuss word, I didn't mean it. Rather than saying sorry every time I do. But so anyway, what was I talking about?
There's no way, Marty. We're talking about Shawn Michaels. We're talking about the Heartbreak Kid and the fact that he kicked the shit out of your face and threw you through a fucking window.
No, we were somewhere else. It was after.
Well,
he
got hurt. He got hurt and came back.
Yeah, so Shane was filling in for him, and we actually did great. I mean, we talked stuff over, did combo moves like the Rockers did. Shane was right there for all of it. It ended up working good. And I was thinking, if Sean never comes back, we're okay. I mean, I wasn't wishing that on him.
No, but you got to prepare for the future because you don't know what's going to happen. You told this guy not to go get fucked up, and he went and got fucked up, and you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't goat mouthing him. I'm just, like you just said, I'm looking at the future, like. What if he don't make it back? I mean, I'll be over there at his house every day, having one of my girls rub his knees or something, But
good friend.
But the thing was, it was working, and I don't know if as an athlete, as a sports guy, when you're at the top level, if you get injured, you're watching who's your replacement. And you're seeing, you're hoping like, they're going to miss me. So if the replacement, no, they ain't missing you. Nobody was missing him, in other words, because we were doing good. And I don't know if that got to him a little bit, because
I'm sure that bothered him a little bit.
Yeah, and Sean will admit, he's got a touch of an ego. Back then, a little more than a touch. But, so that had to really upset him. Like, shit, I'm out of the picture and it don't matter, and that kind of, in a way, would just all tie in a little bit. So it was what I felt at the end of the split, of the breakup, when Vince told us, okay, so before I go to Rhode Island.
San Francisco.
Yeah. We Shane and I, man, we got along. We like best buddies, man. I mean, instant. He's such a good guy. I mean, it makes me sad when I see him tell stories that aren't accurate.
Hold on, before you go any further, we have a question from the fan, and he wants to know: is the barbershop the reason you guys broke up?
You're supposed to do that before you asked the question.
Because I thought the timing of this question would be
okay.
Phenomenal.
Go ahead.
Is the barbershop the reason you guys broke up? From Karen Grudisher.
Karen Grudisher.
Karen, is that Karen? The one that loves you?
No.
Would you marry that Karen? Maybe you guys are meant to be.
I would make sure I got her the right supplements for her brain.
All right, so wait, let's not get off the rails here. You were just about to tell
us.
What
did Karen?
Shane McMahon.
What did that Karen? There's a lot of Karens in the world.
Is the barbershop the reason you guys broke up?
No, man, it got us close.
Closer than ever.
That felt good. I'm like, do it again. As like other Karen said. He pushed Marty out the window. I mean, I couldn't even believe she was saying that shit. We were on the 4th floor.
Thank God he didn't throw you out of the 4th floor window. All right.
Yeah, when she said he pushed Marty, he went out the hotel window, got up and crawled back in. Okay, I got up from the 4th fucking floor.
She's obviously out of her mind. But
and then she said, I walked up to Sean and said, "Think you can do it again?" Yeah, okay, that's what you would do.
Now, before we get back to Shane McMahon, Vince McMahon, you were telling us the whole work and everything. Did you beat Sean's ass after you recovered from the barbershop window backstage? Of course. And that's from Jim Nuzzo, your
That's my
Brooklyn
boy,
boy.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jimbo?
Did Vince have to come break up the fight? Did Shane have to like keep you guys apart? Was there like instant beef?
No, see where people, whoever came up with the fight backstage, which I think was Shane, my boy Shane Douglas. Shane was doing an interview, and I'm watching it, right? And he's talking about, and Marty came in and just started kicking the shit out of Sean, and he's like looking at it, he's body language, looking at it like he's seeing in his mind.
Yeah.
And Marty Gunn was pounding the shit out of him and threw him over here and he threw him over there. And I'm watching like, that never happened. What are you talking about, Shane?
That kind of makes sense. Maybe that's why Sean didn't put him over for the IC title when he got the chance.
Yeah, that I don't know. There was a weird thing going on there. Him and Scott Hall. I don't know why they didn't like Shane.
Yeah, they definitely didn't like Shane at all, and it's messed up because Shane was a good worker.
Scott started it, and Scott. I mean, I love Scott to death. Even though we had that incident where he kicked my ass while I was asleep.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Tell me about that. Scott Hall kicked your ass. Let's get this clear on the mic. Scott Hall kicked your ass while you were asleep.
Yeah, this was back in Kansas City days.
Tell me this story.
I need my chief executive advisor right now. Not
Swaggy?
Not Swaggy. Mean Mike.
Mean Mike in the house.
Yeah, I need him because he was there in Kansas City days, man. We started out together, and in fact, he suggested a segment about the whole Kansas City thing way back then, and it is interesting. But so anyway, and he would know this. He could confirm this. A lot of the guys. Well, most of them are dead now. Shit. The thing about getting old, you start being alone more because everybody's dying. I mean, that's not funny, but I'm just,
No, it's not funny, but you're not wrong.
Not at all. I know I'm not. I'm seeing it daily.
Yeah.
By the way, Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. I mean, just recent. Last week? Two more. There you go, right there. Now I'm gonna cry, man.
I had it ready. I didn't want to bring it up, but you bring it up. I thought it would be appropriate. Unfortunately, Bray Wyatt passed away from a heart attack. Terry Funk also passed away. Bob Barker passed away, all in the same week. I had to shut down last week on Thursday, Friday. I couldn't watch wrestling. I couldn't talk about wrestling. I was very upset about Bray's passing, man. And my respects and my prayers go out to his family.
Yes. Mike Rotundo and I are pretty close. Well, I won't say close, but good friends. And
of course, you guys work together.
I can. Sorry, Mike. I know this is killing you, brother. I'm sorry. Damn, it's
36 years old, man. 36 years old.
Freaking crazy, man.
Younger than me. Had COVID, had a heart attack, and his sleep.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Somebody had asked me, had I ever, that was one of the questions when I was asking about the barbershop window on Facebook. By the way, if y'all want to interact with us, you go to my Facebook. You got to find the one because I got a couple fan sites that I hardly ever mess with. But my personal site is Marty Jannetty, and it's the one where I'm sitting in front of a barbershop window. And because we interact so well. I love my fans, and they're the best in the world. But if y'all want to interact, go there. Go other places too. It's certainly not hell.
They can also email the Party With Marty podcast at gmail.com with their questions.
Yes.
Feel free to send us videos too.
Yeah. We'll put good stuff up here. But so one of them, I was like, you got questions relative to the barbershop, we'll get them in there, or we'll try to get them in there.
Yeah.
And somebody sent one. I mean, I got some, you probably saw it on face. I got some, man. I was like,
you got some great questions.
Some great ones, and then some were like,
fascinating.
then there were ones like, where'd you party last night? When the one was, would you ever tag with Ricky Morton? I'm sitting there thinking like, barbershop questions.
Are you familiar with LA Knight?
Yeah, I mean, I see him on TV. I probably met him, but was drunk and don't remember.
He was like the last person to have a good program with Bray Wyatt, and they had this big
yeah
Mountain Dew lights out match. I loved the match. I thought it was fun and it looked good, and he just had some nice things to say for Bray Wyatt passing away. Bray's passing, I think, put a big shockwave in the world.
Yeah, man, because that was, I mean,
out of nowhere, just out of nowhere.
I mean, you know, when it's drug related, you're like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
You know, but it was a heart attack.
36.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it just don't fit. What did Cochran say? If a glove don't fit, you got to quit.
Yeah.
You almost got to quit this. It's like, that don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense at all. And then before we lost Bray Wyatt, unfortunately, we lost WWE Hall of Famer Terry Funk. So at this time, Marty,
that's what I was going to say. So one of the questions, well, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
One of the questions was, did you ever have any matches with or against Terry Funk? Yes. And check this. It was a 6-man tag. We're in Japan, right? My first time there, way back, my rookie season. I was the first rookie to ever make it to Japan. Back then, it was hard to get to Japan. You had to be established. You had to be road warriors, which, you know, like Monster. Because Japanese people love to get scared. That's why Godzilla's a big deal over there. They put me in a tag match, 6-man tag. It was me, Harley Race, Dory Funk, against Terry Funk, the Giant Baba, which is the champion or the big champion, and was it Ricky Toshu Ricky, another one, their champion. There was the 6-man tag. There was 5 world champions and me. Wow. I was trying to guess who was getting beat.
Yeah, you for sure.
But that was my only in ring. Now Terry and I used to have a good time, you know, hanging out and having a few beers, and he would, Marty, let me tell you, brother, this business has a way of ruining people. You seem to be a good kid. Don't let it ruin you. I thought world of him for telling me that, and then I went and ruined it anyway.
That was incredible advice, and you definitely didn't follow it.
Well, but it wasn't on purpose. I didn't get it.
No, of course not. You're a kid.
Yeah.
Kids don't listen to adults.
But you know what? But he was full of wisdom, man. As far as the business, I mean, we never sat around and talked about UFOs or nothing like that. but you know, he was me, him, and Ted DiBiase were sitting around the room in Japan. I think what's it called? The Tobu Tana. Whatever. All their words sound like it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult y'all.
Was it like a restaurant?
No, a hotel.
Hotel, okay.
The Tabu something in Takanawa.
All right.
Where all the boys stayed all the time. So the boys will know what I'm talking about. That and I can't think of shit. Ribera's, that they're universally famous for with the boys. Ribera's is the best. But so we were sitting around, and both Ted and now I'm new. I'm a rookie. I'm not even 1 year in the business, right? And I'm learning, and I'm a sponge. I'm listening to it all. Like, what do you say? What do you say? And then, by the way, did you notice I still got this earring?
That is a great earring, and that's going to be on sale soon, and you'll be able to pick that up from Addie's website.
When y'all see it,
yes.
It's in honor. Oh, Addie gave it to me. My friend Addie. She's a sweetheart. She's a moderator for us, ain't she?
Yes, she is. She'll be on the stream when it's live this Thursday.
But it's also in honor of RVD, my boy Rod Van Dam. It's weed. It's weed. It's a picture of a leaf.
That's funny.
But yeah, so we're sitting around in the room. You should have gave me Rhode Island right then, or San Fran.
Sometimes your off the rail rants go somewhere great. So you got to give it a little, let it breathe a little.
So we're sitting around the room, and I'm listening, like, they're both confused on where the business is going, because they were old school, just make them believe it's real. And WWE was changing the game. They were making it entertainment. But it was entertainment even way back in Carnival days. It's for their entertainment. We got to act like we're really fucking going at it. Excuse my language. Oh, I won't gonna do that no more.
You're good.
But but so they were from the school of make them believe it's real, and Vince and WWE or F at the time WWF was of the school of let's entertain them whatever it takes.
And they didn't like that.
They didn't know the transition. They're like, what do we do? Do we go against what we know? I mean, how do you take our style and make it entertaining? Because the old school style is boring as shit. Grab a headlock and you stand there and make them think you squeezing the blood out of the guy's head. Then take him over and squeeze him for a while longer. And the people got to be thinking like, God, this guy's going to pass out. He keeps squeezing his head. I mean, that's the train of thought that they had. Boring. It's boring as shit for this, as everything evolves. That's why when people tell me they know it all about wrestling, that just proves they don't know it all, because wrestling is forever, just like life, always evolving. Nothing stays the same except change. And, Macho Man drilled that in my head. But so, they didn't know how to make the transition from their style. How are we going to be entertaining? Because they did the old school stuff, headlock, arm drag, hip toss, slam, splash, back. Now what? Because the guys are starting to do backflips and jumping
all
off
kinds of shit.
Yeah. And so they're it's entertainment. I mean, and they would question, like I remember Chief Strongbow, he who I love to death, Jay Strongbow, Chief Jay Strongbow. He would always get on to Sean for doing backflips. He goes, "Hey, you're in a bar fight. Are you going to do a backflip off the damn bar?" and Sean said, "But I'm not in the bar. I'm in the ring."
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I thought Terry Funk's old matches, because I used to watch.
Oh man, he had some. I mean,
in my 20s, 30s, when YouTube first started being a thing, Marty, all these matches that I've never seen before are now online. So every night I would watch like an old Terry Funk match that I never watched before.
Boy, he's had some intense back from them days. He was with him and Jerry Briscoe.
Anybody back then, he would tear the house down.
Yeah, I mean, they would do arm. One that stood out to me was him and Jerry Briscoe were doing arm wrestling with a knife on each end. It's like whoever's losing, it goes to a knife. And oh my God, they made it like you go, oh no, how are they going to do this? I mean, and when you don't know it's a work, you're actually thinking somebody's about to get sliced up. Oh no, and then they went back and forth. You don't know who's about to get stabbed in the arm, and then one of them gets up. I think Terry jumps up and punches him in the face, and so they're out of it. But I mean, gosh, it was so intense, and boy, man, I mean, for the old school, slow school style, they made it interesting. Those did, there was just very few that could do that.
Terry Funk will never be forgotten. Cody Rhodes had some nice words for him.
Yeah, and
sad week.
And Terry adapted though. He we were sitting in a hotel trying to figure out how they were. I'm listening to it and I'm thinking, where do I fit in here? I mean, where am I? I'm not the old school or the new school. I'm just learning. How do I use this? You want to take the information, use it the best you can. But so yeah, Terry, he adapted by doing what the new school guys were doing. I saw him get up. What did he do? He did a backflip. Oh, what's that one where you get up on the top rope and do was it moonsault? Yeah. Terry Funk did that.
Oh yeah, he probably invented it.
About 50 years when he was at ECW. He got up. I'm watching him like, what's he doing?
Holy shit! He's trying to create that holy shit moment.
And he did. I mean, with me, I'm like, holy shit!
Well, Marty, look at that. He made you pop. So imagine what he did to the fans around the world. Because I'll say it right here on the record. Without Terry Funk, ECW doesn't get off the ground.
Yeah, man. I mean, because he was like the heart and soul, because he was old school with all the new guys, and he'd come in.
He bring everybody in, man. All the boys were like, I want to work with Terry Funk. I'm going down there.
Yeah, man. He was
a good time. It was a good time. Unfortunately, we did lose one more person last week as well. We lost Bob Barker.
When did he wrestle?
He didn't wrestle, but hell of a legend.
Yeah, that is sad though, man, because there ain't nobody that hasn't seen his show at least once.
I've seen it hundreds of times growing up. The only thing that made me smile about his passing is he died at 99, which is like the highest score you could get in the in the game Price is Right.
Right.
So
with a $1 wheel.
he will be missed too. I'm sure Adam Sandler's missing him. Happy Gilmore was a great movie.
I was just gonna say Happy, man.
Happy
Great
Gilmore, yeah. Great movie. Great movie. You should watch it if you haven't seen it.
I just watched it the other day. I've watched it like a dozen times.
So speaking on passing, we do have another question from the fan. Eric wants to know, what are your thoughts on the passing of Dan Morate?
Made me sad, man. Me and him, that was the original Party with Marty. But I was a co-host on that. That's what me and you, I was telling one of my friends the other day, he said, well, whose show is that? I was watching, and I'm not sure whose show is it. And I said, well, look, he's never been a co-host. I have. I've never been a host. I mean, so we're both learning new positions,
We're a new tag team here, okay?
Yeah, but we're going to get it down. So,
any new tag team that gets together, you got to learn the ropes. You got to feel
for
each
Sean
other
and I.
out.
That was one thing about
that
Sean
was instant?
Instant. They put us together because somebody didn't show up.
So you're saying me and you don't have instant chemistry?
That's so far. So far.
Speaking of Sean, who's right in front of you on that Playgirl magazine.
You want me to look up, don't you?
He's here. He's ripping up this
Rock
magazine.
And Roll Express. There's my boys.
He's letting you know it's over, Marty. The Rockers are done. We're through. In your mind at this point, right? Like after this segment.
Oh, so, okay. How long we got? Let me see.
We got a little time. We got a little time.
Okay. So here's here. Let me run the whole thing down.
Please do.
So Sean was gone. Shane was filling in, and doing great, man. We didn't miss a beat, which shocked me. I couldn't believe that, that we were doing just as well. We were getting 20,000 people on their feet during our match, cheering, crying if we lost, just happy as hell when we won. We were basically controlling the crowd, and that's what wrestling's all about. The moves, they're nice. Anybody can teach you arm drag, headlock, takeover, and you learn your backflips and shit on your own. But crowd psychology is what wrestling is all about. You're not out there to do backflips and arm drag. You're out there to make them people that paid their money sitting in 20,000 seats. You're there to make them happy. And, that's the whole point of us being in the ring. And, we were doing it, because the worst thing you want to do, and this is what I teach in my seminars, and when I do run my wrestling schools, I call them my kids, even though they're 20 and 24 and 30. Body language sometimes is louder than sound. And you don't ever want to see the crowd doing this.
Nothing.
Leaning back. You want them like this, leaning forward, because that you're interested, you're into it. When you're leaning back, it's like, come on, man, fuck. It's body language, and it's learning the crowd and knowing how to keep them leaning forward. And you don't want them leaning forward during the heat, certain times. But you don't ever want them leaning back, ever. At least, straight up or forward, never leaning back. But, we were doing it. Didn't miss a beat. Had the crowd, entertained.
I remember people were out of their chairs when you guys came out.
Yeah. And so it came a point where it was the end of like 20. Back then we used to do some crazy tours, man, 30 and 40. And we missed the 50 and 60. They did 50 and 60-day tours, and the guys were dropping off. They couldn't. Macho Man and Hercules, I think, went the longest. They went like 90 days. They made every day. They didn't miss nothing. And so, I think our longest was 35 or 40, somewhere in there. And, this was the end of a 20, which is still, they're brutal after 10. After 10 days, man, your body's like, damn, man, stop. But so anyway, it was the end of the tour, for Shane and I, and the boys. And Sean was at home, because he was hurt. And they had a commercial shoot. And this is what led to the whole barbershop deal. It wasn't the fight that Sean got in. We shook hands. Vince made us shake hands and let it go. And we did. Or at least I did. I don't know if he did. I thought he did. He acted right. But we come at the end of the tour, everybody's flying home. They got a commercial shoot for a cereal called Superstar Cereal. And we go to Atlanta to do the commercial shoot. They flew Sean in, because the Rockers were going. There was 6 different boxes, the wrestlers on the boxes. Sean and the Rockers were going to be the cover of which we were. It just didn't make it all over the country, I guess. A lot of people said I never saw it come out. I saw what they were going to do. But so anyway, we go to Atlanta to do the commercial shoot, and it was me and Sean were going to be on the box. Remember the natural disasters, typhoon and earthquake?
Yep.
Natural disasters, I think they were called.
Absolutely.
The 2 big ass. We had to work with them one time. Hey man, they're about 400 pounds, and Sean and I 220, and we're in the ring with the littlest guys against the biggest guys.
Yeah,
tag match.
Typhoon and earthquake.
Yeah, and we're like, we're looking at each other like, what are we going to do, man? Shit, we still made it work. I mean, a little bit. I mean, it could as good as you could do with that scenario. 400 pounders against 220 pounders. But so they were there. I want to say Lex Luger. I can't remember who else. But was it Road Warriors? Yeah, I think Road Warriors.
That's a hell of a tour.
Yeah, So I mean, everybody that was going to be on the Superstar cereal box was legit. It wasn't no jokes on it.
Yeah.
Not that any of you guys are jokes. I didn't mean it like that. But I mean,
no, they're putting the people that are making money, the people that are selling merch. Let's be honest.
Right. So
we're not lying about it. Let's talk about the business aspect. That's what this is about. It's about making money. And that's what you and Sean were doing for Vince, was making money for him.
And now we're going to make money through cereal.
Yeah, that's the point.
But see, here was the thing now. When and I've always called myself GAT. It's just a fun thing. God's amusement toy.
Wait. You brought up GAT. So guess what? It's time.
You got something?
It's time for some breaking news. That's right. Breaking news.
There it is.
You can go to the Pro Wrestling Tees store today, and hypothetically, the best podcast ever has our t-shirt out, and the next shirt up, God's Amusement Toy GAT. It's almost here, guys. Go to the Pro Wrestling Tees Superstore today.
Hey,
search for the Party With Marty.
Pull the GAT, put a shirt up, or the GAT thing. Change the coloring though in the God's Amusement Toy.
I did. It's exactly the text you sent me: yellow, red, and blue for a hint of fire.
Oh, that's yellow. Okay.
Well, what color? What does it look to you? Mustard?
No, I didn't have my glasses on. Oh, okay. It does actually look good with his glasses on.
Yeah,
oh my God, my damn eyes are fucking shot.
Are you colorblind now?
Not colorblind, but I might as well be.
He's yellow blind. Okay.
So hey, you ever tried to? No, I'm not going to.
Now
but anyway, yeah, that looks good, man.
You told me you were in the yard earlier. Letting the mosquitoes feed off you for a little bit.
Yeah, I was feeding the mosquitoes. Yeah, because they're so bad here.
Find any mushrooms out there? Do mushrooms grow in Georgia?
I wouldn't be here now.
That's a true story. All right, so you were talking about Sean. You were talking about all the drama. You guys had a long history together.
Okay, so here's the thing, and Sean was absolutely the opposite of GAT. He's God's, the best guy in the world. He can step in shit and come out smelling like a rose.
He's God's golden boy.
Golden boy there.
He's Mr. WrestleMania. He's the Oscar De La Hoya of professional wrestling.
It don't make sense. I mean, I'm as nice as can be, unless I've been drinking Jack Daniels. I'm nice as I can be to everybody. I mean, every fan I ever meet.
Everybody.
And Sean's just the opposite. And he's the golden boy and I'm the GAT. What the hell sense does that make? You know the story, it was on A&E's biography, for Shawn Michaels. The story's on there. When we first started in AWA as the Midnight Rockers, I was there already in singles, and they brought him in to tag with me. And in Vegas is where we filmed, and we're at a casino. We're in the casino, Showboat Casinos, where we filmed all the time. And so I'm playing the slot machine. Me and Kurt Hennig, God rest his soul. That's my favorite brother, man. That's the one that when I got that phone call, I broke down.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I'm about to now.
Oh.
So me and Kurt are running around playing the slots, playing craps, but we're going to hit the slots because I'm not going to say her name to get her in any trouble, but the owner or the manager, she was running the casino. She came and told us, she goes, if you're going to play anything, play the slots by the doors because they're set to hit more. Because they want, when people come in, they want to hear that ching, 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 we're dropping the money down there. And when they're leaving, they want them to hear it like, one more chance to get them to come back. So that's what we did. We went and played the slots closest to the door. And we were staying even because in slots, you're going to lose money fast. We're staying even and then getting a little up and then back to even, never down. And so played for a couple of hours. And then Sean got there. His flight came in later. He comes up. And he's looking for, he sees me over there playing. He comes up, what's going on? We hug up and all that. And he wants to see the outfits. He has not seen the rocker outfits yet. He's, what are we wearing? Let me go see what we're wearing. So told Kurt, so I'm going to run up to the room. Kurt was on like, how they're across from each other. He's around the side playing over there. Like he stayed on the one machine. I stayed on the one machine forever because you're bound to hit something good the longer you play.
Yeah.
And so we went upstairs and had the outfits. This is when we was wearing animal print, like the black and white. I guess you could say tiger print, black and white tiger. It was laid out, the leggings, the wristlets.
The whole nine.
Yeah, everything. And he comes in and they're almost like fur that you would have in them, the Mexicans would have in their low riders, on the dashboard. It's almost, it was that kind of material. And Sean comes in and he looks and he sees it spread out on the bed and he looks, he's quiet and he looks at me and he goes, we're wearing that. And he goes right to the phone right there. I mean, this was in our room.
Immediately.
Yes. And called his mom and he goes, Mom, Marty's got us wearing fur everywhere. When he'd get upset, he'd call his mom, man.
It's okay. Mama's boy. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
No,
but
nothing wrong with
let
that.
me ask you this though. What if
how you gonna be a pro wrestler and you gotta call mom to see if it's okay?
He loves his mama. Leave him alone. He loves his mama. It's okay. No problem. HBK loves his mama. But I want to ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
What if back then you were the one that went up to Vince and said, I want to further my career? And I want to throw Sean through the window. What do you think would have happened?
That's not how it went down. All right, so let me finish the story then. So with Sean, we did a commercial. Our first commercial was for you remember the little action figures?
Of course.
Some people call them dolls. They're not dolls.
They're not dolls. They're action figures. God damn it.
Yeah, and so. Our little action figures, the first ones, we're doing a commercial shoot, and SAG, which is Screen Actors Guild, you can get 3 words in for free. After 3 words, you got to pay. You got to join the union, which I think back then it was $1,200 a year.
That's a big crock of crap, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, here's Sean's lines, and here's my lines.
Let's go.
It's time to rock.
It's
something. He had 3 words.
Those are 4 words.
Oh no, that was me. Because if you look at the commercial, the dolls right there, Roddy Piper's in the background. Dolls right there was like, it's time to rock. It's time to rock. 4 words.
So you had to pay for 1 word,
right? And Sean's is and roll. 2 words. God.
So he didn't have to pay.
So with the casino. What happened after all the first shit? When we go back down, he don't know how to do anything, and he's never been in a casino. And I was telling him, went right back to my machine. Kurt's still on his, and I said, you just put quarters in there. If you put 1 in, you win less. 2, you win a little more. 3, you win the maximum. And then if you hit 777s with 3, you're going to win a lot. He's like, okay, I got it, and he's putting the quarters in. I went around Kurt, see how Kurt's doing. And all of a sudden you hear this ding, 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 ding. We're up, and a little red firelight thing spinning. He pulled 1 time, hit 777s. Wow. And he'll tell you about it. He did it on A&E. He goes, yeah, I won $1,500 off 3 quarters.
He's a lucky
and
guy.
Kurt went around and he goes, you got to give some of that to Jannetty. He set it up for you. He's been playing it for 3 hours. So again, here's Gat. I played for 3 hours. It broke out. I mean, even. I didn't win shit, didn't lose shit. and he comes and pulls one damn time, triple sevens.
Yeah, he's pretty much instantly blessed from birth over here, man.
Little did I know. Yeah, I got 4 words this time to rock and roll. And so I got to pay fucking by the screen actor. He don't.
Now, why couldn't somebody tell him you're going to say rock and roll, so this way you both have 3 words?
Nobody, because they just give us the script. You know, like you're going to say it's time to rock, and he's going to say and roll, which it does split up, you know, smooth like that. It's just I had to get the 4, he got the 2. I mean, again, just
no,
like
he should have paid half of that. He should have paid half of that.
No, he offered to.
Okay.
It was fun. That's all. It wasn't that serious.
Of course, you're on TV. You're in a commercial, bro. You're living the life right here. Real quick,
the casino. So here's what.
I just want you to give a shout out to your fan over here.
Yeah, happy birthday to Mike, the Jetpack. I think it's this Saturday. This is showing Thursday night. I think it's this Saturday. Hey, bro, Mike the Jetpack. How the hell did you get that name? Mike the Jetpack. I mean, I can think of a few things, but I'm not going to say them. But so look, man, I don't know how old you are. I didn't find that out. But you're catching up with me because I done got to a point now. I'm starting to come back down in age, and you're still going up. So we're going to meet in the middle somewhere. But happy birthday, my brother. I hope it's your best ever. All right.
Nice.
Okay.
So go on. Continue what you were talking about.
I don't remember what it was.
What do you mean you don't remember?
So now at the cereal, even Sean, he's already got his 2 words or 3. With the cereal, I don't even remember what the hell we said about the cereal. Hey, eat me or something, something like that. I don't know what we said, but we had to sign the screen actor the contract. Sign the thing to join the union. But here's what they did that was wrong. You don't in the wrestling world, you would know not to do this. They put a stack of papers down. That was all of us. It was there. There was, like I said, 6 different cereal boxes, and 3 of them were tag teams. So, there's what? I can't do math right now. 3 tag teams.
6 times 7 divided by 36,000.
6 and then 7, 8, 9 pieces of paper there. And they said, find yours and sign it. Okay, well, that means we get to see what everybody's getting paid. That's a no-no. You don't do that. That was a blunder on the damn SAG people's thing. So we're going looking for ours. And Sean's saying 10,000. Oh, God, man, we're going to get good. 10,000. Everybody was getting 10,000. I shouldn't be telling the exact numbers, but it was so long ago, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Then we got ours, 5,000 each.
Ouch.
And Sean's like, let me backstory that. We had just had a meeting with Vince a couple weeks prior. And we asked him, what can we do? We're tired of riding the middle rail of pay. What can we do? This is a meeting we had with Vince. We called it. And Vince, he would listen. This looks shitty, don't it?
I should have put it. It's supposed to be there.
No, I should have put it under my
Rhode Island is not a good place.
Okay. So, Sean looks at me and he goes, Oh, wait. So we told Vince in the meeting that we called with him, and he was very nice. I love Vince to death. People talk shit about it, but he's always been good to me.
I love Vince. I look at him as like a father figure.
Yeah, man, that man's brilliant.
Probably knows more about wrestling than any human on the planet.
Since he was a baby, he was learning, just like Shane McMahon is now. And who I love to death too, and got a couple stories because we hung out a bit.
Let's save that for another episode.
Rhode Island.
Gotta get back to the barbershop.
San Fran. Okay, so we had the meeting with Vince. We asked him like, "Hey, we don't want nothing for free," and pretty much me doing the talking because Sean. Later on, he started taking care of himself, but he didn't know what to say and stuff.
Yeah, he wasn't used to the backstage politics as of yet.
No, and so he learned a lot from me when I would play the game. But this wasn't really playing the game. I know where it is, but it was the way you do it and the correct way. There's other ways, but I wasn't going that route. So I told Vince, I said, we want to do whatever it takes. Not that, whatever it takes to move up the ladder, at least in pay. If you don't think we're good enough to move us up the ladder on the card, what can we do? We'll do more work. We'll work harder, but we want more pay. and he stuck his hand out and said, "You just got it." I like that. Shook her hand. Him, but it's not. That's I heard that from him before, and we'll get to that because it's pertaining to the barbershop. Did I say pertaining? Man,
good word.
You got me fucking saying words I don't say every day.
That's
but good. We had that meeting with him about more pay, right? And we'll work harder. Don't give it to us. We'll work harder. What can we do? Yeah. And so here's the chance, right? Everybody's getting $10,000, and we're getting $5,000.
Crazy.
And Sean says, we're only getting $5,000. Everybody's getting $10,000. Oh, it's because we're a tag team. I said, no, man. Road Warriors are a tag team. They're getting 10. Or Natural Disasters are a tag team. They're getting 10. No, we're getting fucked again. Wow. And he goes, oh, that's right. I mean, he wasn't even good at math. He thought okay, you forgot they're a tag team too. So he's like, fuck this shit, man. Fuck, we just had this meeting with it. Fuck it. Let's quit. I want to quit.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. I mean, if you want, I'm riding with him, man. Even way back then, it was ride or die. We riding together, we dying together.
I mean, you guys got fired on your first night in the business. Together. So
yeah, that was Jimmy Jack Funk's fault. now you
guys went pretty far considering you got
San Francisco yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so so back then we didn't have cell phones, and this was probably 1990. Oh, I know it was 1991.
Trust me, that's a good thing for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of trouble with camera phones. But so there was payphone right at the end of the hallway on the wall. And he wanted to quit. I said, okay. He said nothing. He goes, no, I'm serious. Let's go call Vince and tell him we quit. I'm like, all right. I mean, it didn't faze me because I knew we could go somewhere else. WCW for sure. And because I had actually been asked. I had been asked. And I'm not going to say who even now because, stir up more shit. But shit.
That's the point. Stir it up.
No, I got bigger fish to fry, bro. But so I went right to the payphone called WWF at the time, WWF. They'll tell Vince we were quitting. And, get Pat Patterson gets on the phone, ask the secretary, she could transfers me to Pat Patterson. Marty, how are you doing? And I'm like, hey, Pat, how are you doing? Can I talk to Vince? Oh, Vince is busy right now. I can help you. What's up? And I said, well, me and Sean want to just know the proper way to put our notice in. We're going to quit. And he goes, oh, Jesus Christ, hold on, Marty. And Vince, you got Vince right on there. Vince's like, yes. What's going on, Marty? I'm like, hey, Vince, what's the proper way to give because you had to give a 90-day notice, and
that's great.
I was like, do we write it out or do we verbalize it? I mean, how do we give our notice? I know it's 90 days. I said, well, what's the proper way? We want to do this correctly. Well, what's the problem? I said, nah, we've already talked about it. No more talking. I just want to know how, what's the right way to quit. We're not going to do this no more. We already had the conversation with you, he should have, and I'm sure he did, picked up on it. It could have all been set up on me because that's been questioned before. But so he's like, well, let me look here. You can hear pages flipping, where he's looking through his book. He goes, and Survivor Series was in 3 weeks. He goes, you guys are in Survivor Series in 3 weeks. Y'all can finish up there. And I'm like, oh, man, because the reason to make it 90 days is they beat you down for 90 days. So therefore, your value ain't that much when you go to another company, which at that time would have been WCW. So for him saying we can finish up in 3 weeks, that's a blessing because the Survivor Series, they don't, you get beat there. What does it matter? It's a shit show anyway. Compared to the other pay-per-views. That's back when it was just 4: Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and what was the other one? SummerSlam, yeah. I missed that one, didn't I? So I was sitting there, and Sean's right here. I'm trying to stay in the frame. He's right here, right next to me. He's hearing, And I'm saying, oh, thank you so much, Vince. I'm a blessing. We're not getting beat down for 90 days. We get to Survivor Series in 3 weeks and it's over. And the only the Survivor Series is the only TV taping where everybody's going to see you get beat. The rest were house shows. Nobody's going to see that.
Yeah, that is a blessing.
Yeah. And Sean heard me thanking him. And when I hung up, he goes, let me get some air here. How's your ear itch? With these damn things on for now. So I forgot what I was saying.
Shawn Michaels.
Oh, he's right there, and he goes, what'd he say? What'd he say? He's like a little puppy dog. What'd he say? What'd he say? I said, you ain't gonna believe this, bro. He goes, what? He goes, he's gonna let us finish up at Survivor Series. And he goes, here's his facial expression.
He was disappointed.
And I'm looking at him, and it took me a minute to realize. I'm like, did you hear me? He goes, he's gonna fucking let us quit. And I said,
that's what you wanted.
You standing right here.
Said.
Yeah, you're standing right here. Didn't you hear me tell him we're gonna quit? What choice did he have? And he goes, but he's fucking gonna let us. I'm like, and now I'm sitting there thinking, oh boy. Right.
Could have slapped him or kicked him right in the face right then and there.
Well, so here's what happens. He's walking off in delirious land, just he's going to let us quit. No, he's not letting us quit. We told him we're quitting. Yeah. So, I mean, it ain't like he can say no. But, I guess it was me, saying thank you that he thought he must have thought he said, oh, we'll give y'all $500,000 to stay, or something like that. But, so we fly home, commercial shoot's over. I was living in Orlando. He was living in Tampa at the time. We flew home, which is, it's about an hour flight, and got home. And back then, remember another thing, way things have changed. Remember answering machines? You push the button and then you listen to the tape. Go.
People actually use those. Nobody even leaves voicemails.
Yeah, right. So I played my messages. There's about 30 of them. 40 of them, because we've been on the road a minute.
Yeah.
And the very last one, Vince, Marty, give me a call at the office. And so I'm looking, and it was 5:30, and I'm thinking, well, he won't be there now, but I'll call just so he doesn't think I didn't call. And so I called, and sure enough, he's there. I mean, that's another workaholic.
Yeah.
And y'all know I didn't do no cocaine. My nose it runs sometimes for no reason.
Well, we're getting at that point.
What's that?
We're getting at that point where we gotta wrap up soon.
Okay, so here we go. Vince tells me, he goes, well, you're welcome to stay on and wrestle singles. And I'm like, nah, Vince, I'm not, Sean and I made this, we're sticking together and not going behind his back. He goes, well, that's something. That's funny, because Sean just called me and said he had nothing to do with this and he was staying.
Nothing to do with it. He's
staying. Now I did the what? I don't even know if I said. I don't know if I even said bye, Vince, or anything. I just hung up and called Sean immediately.
I mean, that's a straight backstab. I mean, it's without talking to you about it first. That's not cool.
I mean, when did he do it? He had to get home and get on the phone immediately, because we didn't have cell phones.
And that means he had it on his head already. He knew what he was.
That's a lot of the boys thought it was a whole setup from the beginning.
100%. It is. There's in my opinion, no doubt about it.
Yes, it could have been, but Vince don't care to play games like that. If he don't want you there, he don't want you there. He'll let you know. But so Sean, I called Sean immediately. Hung up with Vince. I don't even know if I said bye. Hung up, called Sean. Sean answered. I said, "Tell me it ain't true. Tell me it ain't true."
Of course.
And he goes, he already knew what I was talking about. He goes, "Marty, I've been thinking about it, and the flight home, I thought about it, and you've paid your house off. I'm still paying on my house. I'm married. You're single. I can't afford to quit."
Yeah.
I was like, well, bitch, why didn't you tell me first? You bypassed me. You let me do all that shit, and then you. So it was the next time, 4 days later, we had to go TV taping. I mean, now I'm going back because Sean and I ain't stick together. So I got to go back because he's going back. And so we go and have a meeting with Vince. That obviously we're having a meeting. That's when we sat down, me and Sean on one side of the table, Vince on the other side of the table, and he's hitting us with what the plans. Well, I want you guys to split up. And see, and here's the thing. Let me backstory that. Sean and I had already made a pact with each other. We'll split up when we're ready, or we think business-wise it's okay to, we've run our course as a team. Because WWE had the F at the time had a habit of breaking the guys up whenever they wanted to, and the guys like, you got to do it. So we said before we ever went in there, when we were still in AWA and we were transitioning over, we said, we don't let them tell us what to do as far as splitting up. We decide that. And that's just business. It's not being egomaniacs or anything like that. We're just not letting them split it. Well, that's what Vince is doing. He's splitting us up without our permission. Yeah. And when he said, we're going to split you guys up, I'm like, well, Vince, Sean and I need to talk about that. And then Sean speaks right up. I'm okay with it. And so I'm like,
it's definitely a setup, Marty. Don't doubt it. 100% it was a setup, man. It sucks.
Well, I mean, like I said, Vince don't play games. But so except he did with the Montreal screw job, I guess. But so I got no choice now. I'm like, okay. I looked at Sean like, wow, okay, well we'll split up. And Vince goes, well, I said, what do you want us to do? And he goes, well, I see superstar in Sean, and Marty, I don't really see that in you. So I'm like, okay, which means I'm going to do the job. Okay, no big deal. Shit. I said, okay. I said, because what I figure is what I knew was going to happen, I'm going to get him over, and then they're going to let me go. And if that were the case, I wasn't going to do it. If they were going to keep me on, of course, I'll do it. So I asked Vince straight up. I said, what's going to happen to me afterwards, after I get him over? And he goes, well, that'll be up to you. No bullshit, it won't. You're the one with the pen and the pad. The rights, you got the power.
He just wanted to tell you whatever you needed to hear to just go away.
Yeah. And so I said, okay, well, we'll see. I left it at that. And Sean, it's over. Sean leaves. I stood there for a second. I said, Vince, will you give me the opportunity to prove you wrong about, not seeing superstar in me? He goes, I like that attitude. And again, he sticks his hand out, like you shake the hand like he did with, you did it. How can we get more money? Work harder. So Vince and I shook hands, and that's when we had to figure out a way to split. Now we're sitting in a restaurant, and we're figuring out how do we do this. We want to, like, in the next match we have, which we set up one match with Road Warriors, and I picked up fucking Hawk's big ass. I think that's how it went. Or he picked me up. Whatever it was, one of us, feet, picked up for the slam, feet swung around and hit Sean and knocked him down. And I think they pinned him or something. Yeah. And then he gets all pissed off at me like it was my fault. And that was it. But we'd actually sat down and furthered it. I was like, what if we, did the barbershop? He goes, and what? I said, well, tell me what you think it is. I said, we have a little talk like we're ironing it out, and you end up catching me with a kick when I'm not looking or whatever. This was the rough draft of it. And I said, throw me through the window. He goes, really? I said, yeah, well, I mean.
And this is the result.
The other isn't any good. Oh my God. Gonna be ready for the Royal Rumble? Bleeding profuse.
And then I'm going to explain that coming up.
I'm going to give you a question that will help you lead into all that. You did have one question from a fan, and they want to know, and this is from Tom Lively, was it real glass or Hollywood glass?
I'll get to that. I'll get you, Tom. Yeah. So here we go. We're working on this together, but I told him, like, you throw me through the window, and he smiled. Imagine that. He smiled so big. He's like, yeah, that sounds great. And I said, and then once I fall back inside from the window, go have a little, you've already set it up. I mean, you'd already plotted on me. Get a little thing of gasoline, pour it on me while I'm sitting there hurting, from the window. Pour the gas on me, and then go get them long stick lighters that like for grills. So you can get that stick lighter, click it, make sure it's working, and start walking towards me. And then Beefcake will tackle you so you don't light me up, with the gasoline. And he was like, that might be overkill. And I think he was. I think he was right.
You guys nailed it, bro. It's iconic. It still is. It's still talked about.
Okay, so the answer
light up when you watch it.
Yeah, and so to answer Tom Lively's question, was it real? It was supposed to be sugar glass, and what they did is they brought 3 window panes, because if it didn't go right the first time, and this is really embarrassing. I think we were somewhere in Texas, San Antonio. No, not San Antonio, somewhere in Texas. But if you're out there in front of the people doing this, right, and if it didn't go well, like it just sucked, or the window didn't break right, or you tripped up and fell, or remember that one time that dude fell through the window, power bomber or something, and his helmet came off.
Oh yeah, the Shockmaster. The Shockmaster.
Yeah. Remember, he fell down, his thing came off, his helmet came off. In case of something like that, they had extra window panes. 2 of them were sugar glass, but the one was the real thing. And so we did the segment there, which you showed twice or 3 times, and we is that better sound now? After the whole show, I learned you can move these things.
Yes,
but so I'm going in the back, and I got a little blood in it, which is surprising because sugar glasses you can eat it.
Don't cut.
Yeah. And I got some blood, but it didn't matter. It went, I wasn't hurt and nothing, no big deal. I was surprised about the blood. I'm like, what the fuck? Sugar glass cut? How do you get cut on sugar glass? Gat. But so
Marty will find a way.
Yeah. So I go to the back, and when one of his production dudes comes over, and he's looking at, the blood. It wasn't bad, but it was starting to, run all down my face. And he's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." Shit. Yeah. He goes, "Oh, thank God." He goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, man. We made a mistake. I'm so sorry. Please don't tell on me." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Well, they had 3 window panes. 2 of them were sugar glass. One was the one that's a regular, and it's all the time." He goes, "But they didn't mark them."
Idiots.
And he said they were so scared they didn't know what to do. They said, "We got 2 out of 3 chances to get the right one."
Oh boy.
Well, Gat. Which one do you think they got?
Damn.
That was the real glass. It was supposed to be sugar glass. They didn't mark the window, so they didn't know. They took a chance because they were scared for their job, even though that might cut my head off. We got so lucky. Hey, show that again. I'm gonna, because when I watched it, there's a jagged.
The kick
down to a point. If that sumbitch would have dropped while I was laying through the window, there'd have been.
The other isn't any good. Oh my God! Gonna be ready for the Royal Rumble? Bleeding.
You could have got murdered right there. Good God.
Yeah.
Well, luckily for you, Sean hit you with a donkey punch to the face, basically, and set you up to not feel any pain when you went through the window.
Yeah, when he gave me that super kick, he laid. He got me back for what happened in Denver. That Karen
laid it in, man. He laid it in. That's a lot of knowledge for the Barbershop.
I was kind of glad because it went through a real window and didn't even feel the shit.
What's crazy is we've been talking about the Barbershop for over an hour now, and I bet you could probably talk about it for another 5 hours. But I do have another fan question for you. Okay. This one's in a video form. You ready, baby? Let's go.
What's up, Marty Jannetty? This is the one and only DJ Storms here to congratulate you on the launch of the Party with Marty podcast. And I got a big question for you right here. You've had a lot of great matches throughout the course of your storied career, but what match do you feel has been your best match to date? Let me know. And once again, congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you, brother. Very kind of you. And I wish you the best in life, my man. And it's an easy answer. I mean, the very best match I ever had, I can't say Sean, but it was. And I don't know, we were in Denver. How ironic. The place that we had to fight. But those were our people, man, because in AWA days, we'd go to Denver, and they loved us, man. We got over as the Midnight Rockers, and they watched us go climb the ladder to WWF. and they were to them we were their babies. They watched us grow. They helped us grow because they supported us so much. And McNichols Arena was such a great place to wrestle. I mean, because it almost went up straight up, so sound was focused in on you. But we had a match. It was at their new place. It wasn't McNichols Arena at that time, and we, you know, it was after the barbershop window. It was the setup for us going to Royal Rumble against each other, which was going to be a setup to go to WrestleMania. And we the night before, back then, and they probably still do now, before pay-per-view, they have you work with each other on shows to get it down smooth, get the match down great, which is embarrassing to me because those three towns saw this match already. When they see it on pay-per-view, they paid their money and they're seeing the same shit they already saw. But their concept of it was, it don't matter. We're looking for the millions, not the 20,000. So fuck them 20,000 that paid their good money at the Dunya, wherever else.
They still do that.
They still do it that way.
They still do that.
Yeah, and it hasn't hurt nothing. Hell, the damn WrestleManias are 2 days now.
If anything, there's more wrestling than there's ever been. That was DJ Storms. He's going to be a good friend of the show. He can't wait to meet you at 90s Con. We have one more final fan question that I want to get across.
Oh, hold on, I didn't answer him though. So now, and I'll do it fast. I'll try to go fast speed. So Sean and I had a match, and it was 20 minutes long, but we did a jump start, and it was,
I like this version of Marty.
and so the fans were on their feet because it was a jump start, and we never slowed down for 20 minutes. They stayed on their feet. They never got a chance to sit down because we were bangity, 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 bang. 20 minutes, and there is thin air in Denver, but it never had affected us. We always thought this story about Mile High City thin air. It didn't ever do shit to us till that match. we got the 15-minute mark. And we had some more shit to go. We both couldn't get air. We're looking at each other, and then the fans caught on. So we're so in lock, and that's what you really want to do, is become a one. Everybody's in unison. Everybody's one. The fans were locked in. They knew that we were out of gas, and that energy that they feed you, 20,000.
Get you to finish.
What's that?
Get you to the finish line.
Yes, and we finished it out, and we had nothing left. I mean, we were dragging ass, and the match, they liked it. It was my best match ever. Sean's probably had better, but at that point, I think we both said it was our best. They liked it so much. Sean was the heel. They booed the shit out of him, when he came to the ring. When we left, they cheered. They stood and cheered for both of us. And the boys, this is the highest accolade you can get in pro wrestling. When the boys backstage are at the curtain watching, and you come back through and you get a standing O from the boys, nothing is better. That's the highest you can get. And
that's the goal.
And they did it. And I went and was like, shit. And I went and dove under a table and laid there trying to catch my breath. And I'm like, hoping nobody's hearing me. And I'm hearing this. It ain't matching up. And it's off, and I'm here. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now look over. Sean's under the other table doing across hall, doing the same thing, bro. We did not leave. We left it all out there in front of them. That was the best match ever. The next day is Royal Rumble. We just spent 3 days. Got it. I heard Black Jack Lanza, the agents back then, didn't have cell phones. They had to call in every night and report the events, like how to, every match. And I can hear him saying, Vince, you're going to have to put them on last. There's nothing. This is the best match I've ever seen in my 30-something years of wrestling. You're not. Wow. You can't do anything but put them on main event because we weren't scheduled for main. And he goes, you're not going to believe this match. And I'm hearing this. I'm like, oh, great, man. That's nice. The next day, they interject Sherry Martel into the fucking thing, and it fucked up everything. We want her to do this spot here, that spot. Then why didn't you put her on the road with us for 3 days? I mean, gosh, damn, everything we just got down perfect, you screwed up. So the rhythm wasn't the same at Royal Rumble. I think it was a pretty good match, but it wasn't what we had done.
Yeah. The creative tends to do that a lot, though, sometimes.
Yeah, and so Vince wasn't happy about it. And Vince, every pay-per-view we did, Vince would always come, thank you guys, great match, you stole the show. We were used to that. So when we were expecting it again, I'm thinking, well, we didn't steal the show with that one. but Vince goes, very disappointed. Very disappointed.
at least, he's honest. You know, you're gonna.
That's why I say I don't know that he plays games like we were talking about earlier.
All right. Well, I just heard the super speeded version of Marty. Now you might hear the super speeded version of Savage because we.
But Kurt Angle was my favorite match though.
Kurt Angle, favorite match.
Man, all right, that brother is smooth in the ring.
We're gonna do a whole episode on Kurt Angle one day because actually WWE is doing a documentary on him that's coming out in a couple of days, and it looks incredible. That's a whole story. I've just seen the trailer, and I want to watch it. I suggest you watch it too.
Yeah, I will. Trust me.
It looks like a good watch. We have a question here. Hey, Marty, my name's Eris, and my twin brother and I are big fans. I was wondering if one day you would ever be making the trip to Pittsburgh. We'd love to see you here one day. Marty, do you mind if I answer this question for you?
No. Well, how would you do? They didn't ask you. Your name ain't Marty.
I know, but I can answer it. I can tell them when they're going to
you got us in Pittsburgh?
Well, not yet, but we will be in StarCast first. Speaking of upcoming appearances, we're going to be in Chicago, okay? September 1st, September 3rd, StarCast, and it's going down at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. You want to be there. You want to party with Marty. Come by the table, say hello, and, of course, meet Marty Jannetty, who's
that's this weekend,
legend.
Right?
That's coming up, baby. Yeah, that's coming up. I'm leaving
tomorrow.
Chicago. I'm leaving tomorrow to get there.
You know we might be out on Wrigley Field, right?
Oh, we're going to do a lot. Don't worry about that. Don't save the surprises. We have a lot of content coming on the Party with Marty. Also, Marty Jannetty will be, and this goes out to Eris. I know this isn't Pittsburgh, but it's not far. It's Pennsylvania. Legends Fan Fest. Marty Jannetty will be at the Legends Fan Fest, okay? Historic Hamburg Field House. I'm sure you are very familiar with the Hamburg Field House. It's legendary. It's where Roddy Piper basically smashed Jimmy Snuka with a coconut, if you remember.
Yes, sir, and that's Allegheny. I got a girl there in Allegheny.
You got a girl everywhere. Now, also, Marty's going to be doing Waffle Mania with Rob Van Dam. The Party with Marty.
What is a Waffle Mania?
It's a party with Rob Van Dam, and you're going to like it. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I love Rod's. Are we going to? Tony's going to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. Who has Bobby?
Bobby.
You're
going to have a good time, man.
Johnny, oh, damn, man. It's going to be
Kevin
good.
Kelly's there. You're going to have a good time, man. Savage is going to take good care of you at Legends
What do we do? What do we do? Going to eat a bunch of waffles?
Well, if you want to, you can. You showed me a good picture the other day of the waffle egg sandwich, which was
that shit was good, too, man. If y'all ain't never had it,
that shit looks good.
It's healthy. You don't put syrup on it, and it's healthy. You get you a couple good waffles, Eggos, whatever the hell that with those
Real
Eggos.
Quick, I got to share this because your girl Jody's got an event for you as well.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be at the Napa Fair.
Hey, Jody.
Go meet Marty Jannetty. Get all the details Saturday or Sunday. He's going to be there both days. Make sure you check him out. And also, Marty Jannetty, who's always busy now, because that's what Marty Jannetty's life is all about now. It's about staying busy and meeting the fans and giving back to the wrestling community. He will be at 90s Wrestling Con, Rockaway Mall, New Jersey, September 30th. So, Marty, you got a busy calendar the month of September. We're going to be taking you all over the place. And then October 1st, before you go back home, you will also be at the Wrestling University in Queens, New York. It's going to be a good time.
Going there? Yeah, okay.
Hell yeah, man. We're going to have a good time, man. We're going to be rocking.
Oh, man, I love that. I love there. I got several friends, girlfriend. Well,
you're going to be rocking and rolling. Real quick, Marty, let's run through these little segments. Who's the hottest woman in pro wrestling right now?
Oh, you can get me in trouble like that.
No? All right. For me, it's Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley. All right. But, these are the ladies that
all of them.
Thinks.
I mean, it's almost a 10-way tie.
Your girl Sasha Banks is in this list. I mean, obviously.
She's there, but she's doing something else now?
Yeah, she's in New Japan. She's killing it. I think she's on hiatus.
She's
right
on
now.
TMZ Sports all the time now.
She's killing it. All right. Also,
Mojo.
You know who's killing it?
But you know who I like though is Tiffany.
Tiffany Stratton.
No. The original Stratus.
Trish Stratus. Yes. Trish.
You know why?
Satisfaction.
Yeah. Because she connects with the people. She's got the way she carries herself. I mean, and she's a hard-working ass. I fell in love with her. I don't mean like personally.
You know she's half Greek, right?
No, I didn't know that.
She's half Greek. There's a reason why she's perfect, okay?
Well, what happened to you?
Oh, that's messed up. Big week in professional wrestling. AEW held their all-in event in Wembley Stadium. Over 88,000 people there live. Insanity. Kenny Omega stealing the show. You had the Young Bucks taking on FTR. FTR still your tag team champions. CM Punk defeated Samoa Joe to still be the apparent real world champion that he spray painted, by the way. We'll get into that another day. Soraya is the new woman. You might know her as Paige, the new AEW Women's World Champion, okay? In her hometown with her family there. Look at this picture of Moxley with souvlaki sticks. And if you don't know what a souvlaki is, it's meat on a stick. And he has like 20 of them in his head, man. This guy's a maniac. He's a lunatic. Look at your boy Sting with Darby Allin.
We're going to see him soon, right?
Yes, he is going to be at StarCast, and it is going to be awesome.
Can't wait to see him.
A lot of action. The Acclaimed beat the House of Black. They're the new Trios Tag Team Champions. And look at this guy here, the AEW World Champion, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, retaining his title against Adam Cole. And like good sportsmen, this is how they ended the show. Not only are they in the main event, but they became Tag Team Champions of Ring of Honor in the same night. Very historic night for All Elite Wrestling, Marty. And Monday Night Raw was pretty cool.
See them braids right there on her head, right there on the side?
You want something like that?
Yeah, you know somebody can do hair like that?
Yeah, why not? We can find
up there in New York. You got to know
money
somebody.
talks, bullshit walks. You want braids? We'll get you braids. Don't worry.
You know somebody up there in New York?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not? One phone call away.
Okay, yeah, let's do that when I'm up there next
Your boy over here that you love to compare me to.
Wait, smaller the picture so he can see you and him side by side.
Side by side.
When the first time I met Savvy there, I call him Miz all the time because he had sunglasses on, his hair was a little shorter and spiked up, and he was wearing the suit like Miz does. And I thought it was Miz. And Miz and I, we had a great match. And Snoop Dogg brought me out to the ring, introduced me to the ring, and we had a good match. And so, Miz, I fell in love with Miz. And so when I saw Savage and he was dressed and looked like in his sunglasses, I'm like, oh shit, Miz, what's up? And he looked at me like, what?
Like that. That's where when he first met, right there.
Yeah. Was that the first? That was it.
That's the first time. Yes, sir.
I must have been drunk because I could have swore you had the spiked hair.
It was a little spiky. It's okay, but you were calling me Miz all day long. I didn't mind. Miz on Raw last night, still one of the best guys on the mic in the planet. This guy
let me tell you about him. I fell in love with him. I got to remember that S. When I had to work with him that day, Chris Masters, remember him, the Master Lock, Chris Masters? They had rode together, and Chris and I had just done a tour in Germany or England or somewhere in Europe, and we bonded up real good. And so he came to me that day. It was in Jacksonville. I had the Miz match with Miz, and because I was the Marty, that's where the whole Marty's Jannetty, the team came in, and I was supposed to avenge them saying that shit. And he came up to me. He goes, "Hey man," he goes, "Miz loves you, man. He's studied. The little square things you put this DVDs in and watch it in the car. Watch it." He said he was studying your matches on the ride over, like a 2-hour, 3-hour drive, wherever they were. He goes, that's all he did the whole time. He goes, me and him usually cut up and have fun and talk and party and whatever. He goes, for the whole ride, he sat and studied your matches.
He's a student of the game, for sure.
And so, I mean, I fell in love with him. Like, that's the kind of person that I wanted to see succeed.
Might be the hardest working man in the business because he never stops.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
Can't wait to meet. I've never met him. I will meet him. I want to tell you real quick about Gunther and Gable over here. They're doing incredible things on Monday Night Raw, Marty. They're actually putting on clinics on Monday Night Raw. And
really? I just saw them. I just watched one of the matches this past month.
It's been a pleasure. Today is Tuesday, and it's been a pleasure to watch them work, man. WWE, I feel, is finally running at like full pace again. They got all these like just incredible athletes that are now, just it's coming together, man. It's so.
They've always had incredible athletes. It's just how to use them.
Yeah, exactly. They're using their incredible athletes very well right now. This is Carmelo Hayes. He's the current NXT champion of the world.
Yeah,
be on the lookout for him. He's incredible. And of course, my boy Seth Rollins and my boy Shinsuke.
I worked a match with him when he was Blackjack something or other. I forgot what it was, but in the Independence. And we had a show, and I knew when I worked with him, because the Independence, you don't know what you're going to get. There's old Swaggy. What's Swaggy doing?
Swaggy, the CEA.
CEA, which
sometimes when he's being cocky, you got to come up and slowly grab that tail and say,
"Okay, now we're good." Peter's coming after us. Swaggy likes that though. I'll spin him around, and he'll turn around and look at me.
is a monster. Look at this cat, first of all, on the wall right here.
He's pruning his ass out right now.
Look at this cat.
Look at him. He does that. See that shot right there? I'm sitting there watching whatever it is, and he's changing the channel to Animal Planet. He does that shit to me all the time.
Look at him on the wall. How the hell did he get up there?
He was going to attack the neighbor's cat. He got pissed off at him.
Oh, my God. Swaggy's a legend. You're going to see more of Swaggy on this show. The Swaggy shirt is coming soon. We got to get through the GAT launch first, and then we'll get the Swaggy gear. We're going to try to have new merch every month for Marty over here.
Hey, see that picture where he's sitting there? You know, I got the plates lined out. He would sit there and wait until we say the blessing, and he knows it. And then when I say amen, then he starts eating.
That's incredible. So that you don't have a cat. There's like a little human being in there.
It seems like it. Do you got the one where I got him, like sit, and he'll sit?
No, well,
and I'll send it to you. I got that.
No, you got to sit first. Sit. Now sit. Sit. Stop tapping. Oh, well, you didn't get to say that. Get your leash out of the way. We'll go chase the ducks here a little bit.
Is that the video you were talking about?
Yes. Well, I got a better one where, I had to tell him, I sit. Usually he does it perfect, right? I guess he was hungry that day. I had that rubber hose because when I'd walk him around the neighborhood, when I was living in Jacksonville about a year ago, the apartment complex that I was living in, nice place, had a gym, pool, everything. But I'd walk around and somebody would be walking their bulldog, he'd fucking go to attack the bulldog. And if I had him on a hard leash,
He just started jumping
for his throat. So I had to get it to where it stretch out, so it wouldn't hurt him. Because he always wanted, he didn't care about little doggies and stuff, but bulldogs and pit bulls.
He's nuts.
He'd go after them.
He's nuts. He's absolutely nuts. We got a message for you from Jimmy Hart. He just wants to play it.
Hey, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Saturday, September the 16th, I'll be at Legends Fan Fest in Hamburg, Pennsylvania from 11 to 4 with Savage Kingdom Promotions. It's going to be unbelievable, baby. Come by, get a picture, get an autograph. It's unbelievable.
Whose backyard were y'all in?
That's Jimmy Hart. He's going to be next to you at Legends Fan Fest. It's going to be a great weekend. I can't wait for us to get more content.
Jimmy's got one of the best stories.
He's awesome.
Over the first time he met me in Kansas City, I had gotten an argument with my girl and was telling her to get out. We were on the third floor of the hotel. Jimmy he's coming in the first time in the territory. Timing, GAT. He comes in and a big territory. Jimmy Hart's coming in. 2:00 in the morning. She's mad at me because I'd been out somewhere and didn't come home in time.
Oh, you're used to that.
And so, but she started shit. I was like, "No, get your ass out there." And I took her suitcase. She had just got there. Over the railing, 3 stores down, hits pop. Jimmy tells it best because he's just getting there, and he sees 2 suitcases come down, bust open. The wind's blowing, her clothes are blowing down the street. She comes running down in the negligee thing and chasing her clothes. That was Jimmy's introduction to Kansas City.
That's great.
He tells it great though.
Well, we're gonna get him to tell it again. We'll get it on this show. Chicago this week. We're ready. Marty, next week we'll have another episode ready for everybody with content from
sir.
Chicago.
All right, so we're gonna close it out, y'all.
Yes, sir. Close it out, Marty. It's your show.
We're gonna rock and roll, strut and stroll, slam and jam, move and groove again next week. You don't want to miss it. And I'm not sure we were going to talk about CTE next week and just some of it, but the Party with Marty don't want to be any downer kind of show, but it's going to turn into, if we do that one, we're very flexible. we can change, change in midstream. But so what we may, if we do the CTE, which is something y'all should know. Because anybody in a contact sport and wrestling is certain, you contact the floor. I promise you. Football, hockey, boxing, martial art. Contact. What CTE is basically, just real quick for the next week, is your brain hitting your skull. It's concussions. It's chronic trauma, epilepsy or some shit. CTE is what it is many concussions. It damages the brain, it bruises up the brain, and it messes you up. I have there's 13 symptoms known right now because they still really can't detect it until after you're dead and they look at your brain. But yeah, they have nailed down 13 symptoms. I got 12 of them. The only one I don't have is suicidal thoughts. And we walked a line on that. If I keep staying in a wheelchair, I'm not in the wheelchair. Oh, by the way, I wanted y'all to know. Look, man, I'm doing good, right? I can't dance. Something just fell. But what did fall?
That's great.
Oh, the picture, another picture. Man. But so anyway,
We'll fix that up.
yeah, it's not a good thing. Maybe it's something y'all should be aware of. And we'll brief it out like that, maybe very little detail. But what it does is brain damage, and it really messes up your memory. And I'm hearing some of my guys, even Shane Douglas, and that Karen girl, she's definitely got it, and she ain't never even taken a bump. but so many of the guys will tell stories that I know because I was there, I was part of it, and they'll tell it, and it's like I'm like, what the fuck? That's not at all what happened. It's like what their brain will remember one story and another story and another, and it puts them all together as one. Because Shane Douglas is bad about that. We were over in Ireland on tour over in Europe, Ireland, going from North Ireland, South Ireland, which is a problem over there because they have battlefields of their own against each other. Why? I don't know. I don't know the history. I don't need to know it. But when you go through the borderlines, you got to be careful. Shane's telling our driver, he's telling the stories, some stories about me and Shane, the stuff, because we did a lot of fun stuff, especially when it came to ribbing, playing jokes and shit. And so, man, this is way over an hour.
Rhode Island.
But anyway, Shane's not the only one. I've heard Dutch Mantel do it. I heard Jimmy Cornette, who I love to death, do it. I've heard so many of the guys. Kevin Nash even. Kevin Nash talked about where Scott beat me up in the dressing room while I was asleep in Kansas City. But he said, well, they were in Minneapolis. You don't even know, man. Why you tell a story you don't even know? I'll see Kevin coming up. We're gonna get to
that. Shit happens every day. You're gonna see him at 90s Con. He's gonna be at 90s Con, so you'll definitely see him in September.
Yeah, I gotta come. I don't want to walk up on him because
he's got a lot of shit. I mean? He's a big boy too, man. He's been through a lot too. He lost his son this year. So
yeah, I know.
Shout out to him.
Sorry about that.
Rest in peace for his son. My prayers out to his family as well, Marty.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kevin's
that's a rough one. Yeah, yes, he is. Yes, he is. We're going to see him at 90s Con.
Anyway, let's close it out, and we will see y'all next week right here, same damn station, same damn time.
Same damn crash in India.